Hey friends, Ash here, welcome back to Gents. Hope you're well. You see the laptop, you know what it means. New fragrance time, and there are a bunch of them, including a couple rumors. But not that type of rumor where you're like, nah, that doesn't seem like something that's real. More like the type of rumor where there's a huge raging fire with billowing smoke and somebody's like, I think something's burning over there.
There is some truth in that, yes.
So more like the rumor that's not actually a rumor, we just don't have more information yet. But I'll fill you in. So what's the deal today? Well, a new Parfums de Marly, a new Explorer, potentially. Remember what I just said? A new Hawas, though it is one that maybe a lot of you wouldn't be as interested in, but we'll still talk about it. A new light blue after skipping a year, a new Guerlain, and a new Superman fragrance. Because I know all of you out there cannot wait to get your Superman fragrance and to spray it on and go see the Superman movie. Works just like that, hand in hand. Because my fingers are scissoring. Most of this information I'm going to give you guys today is from ifragranceofficial.com, which I have linked in the description below. You can go ahead and hop over to their website whenever you want. They usually got that new info with the quickness when it comes to new fragrances. They've also got reviews on there, and they're adding a whole bunch of stuff to the website. Just a good little place to check from time to time. So what do we want to talk about first? Let's do the Hawas real quick. Just go ahead and knock that out. So there have been a lot of Hawas fragrances here lately. I mean, for a long time, it was just Hawas. And then there was Hawas Ice, Hawas Black, Hawas Fire, and now Hawas Pink. So, yeah. Maybe get it for your girlfriend, your wife, or yourself. I'm not judging. Let's go ahead and read about it really quickly, bust on through this so we can get to the next one. Hawas Pink is a powerful yet mischievous perfume, an embodiment of the self-confident, sophisticated modern woman. Or man. A fine blend of coziness and sweetness, opening with a refreshing burst of neroli, tinged with a spicy duo of cinnamon and nutmeg. It transitions into a lavish floral heart of orange flower and tuberose before it finally settles on an irresistible gourmand base of cotton candy, vanilla, and tonka bean absolute. The new fragrance is crafted for those who wish to leave a lasting impression, suitable for day and nighttime use. Now it does say tonka bean absolute, but I think that is safe to say a typo. Although part of me does enjoy the thought of a tonka laser beam obliterating everybody in its path, just getting absolutely crushed by the power. So this bottle is decked out in typical Hawas style with pink and white colors, and I think it gives more credence to the idea that Rasasi is trying to step up how many releases they're coming out with. You know, trying to get back in line with all these other big dogs that are releasing like a fragrance a day, essentially. And it does look like Hawas is probably going to be their halo line, much in the same way that with Armaf it's clubbed into we. So there is Hawas Pink. Let's talk about something else. How about that new Parfums de Marly? So this one popped up on Facebook Marketplace, which is where a lot of new fragrances actually pop up first, where people will go there and they'll be like, look what I got, how much you want to pay for it? Which I guess, you know, not a bad business idea, because people will be like, oh, I'll pay triple. Something ain't out yet? Yeah, I'll pay a lot. Then it comes out 2 weeks later and you're like, shouldn't have done that. So unfortunately at this point, no notes or anything like that. There have been whispers about what the notes are going to be, people talking online, but I don't think it's set in stone yet, or at least not officially from the brand. It comes in this style packaging in terms of the coloration and everything like that. Again, pictures at this point, few and far between, but there are a lot of people who are saying, yeah, this one is completely legitimate. So it doesn't look to be one of those type of rumors where you're like, oh, this is potentially not a real deal. This one looks like it is. And the name is interesting. So I'm assuming the correct way to pronounce this is Castley. Castley. But I can't help but every time I read the name, I think Castley. You know, Castley, like resembling a castle. Oh, your house is nice. It looks castle-y. If you have a really large house with like a turret or something. I don't know. But yeah, Parfums de Marly Castley is going to be officially announced very soon, is the word on the street. And this would appear to be one of their fresher fragrance, so kind of falling in line with Sedley, Percival, things like that. Of course, they did come out with Perseus not too long ago, but Perseus did not hit quite the same way as Percival, Sedley, or Greenleaf for that matter. It has kind of a Terre d'Hermes vibe to it, you know, Terre d'Hermes Eau Très Fraîche, Terre d'Hermes Eau Givre kind of in that style. And for a lot of people, you know, for PDM prices, it was not super exciting. So as soon as more information on this comes out, I will update you guys and let you know in a future This Week in Fragrance. But for now, know that there is a PDM coming very soon. And as of right now, that name is Castley. Castley. Castelli. We've got some big fragrances to talk about, but for now, have a gander at these codes real quick. So you can use these codes to save money across a bunch of different websites. The JOMASHOP codes only work within the JOMASHOP app, and they change every quarter. The other codes like Max Aroma, Fragflex, the Perfume Box, Triple Traders, Best Brands Perfumes, all those you can use on the website, on their websites. Let's talk next about that Hugo Boss. After that, we'll do the light blue, talk about the Explorer and the Guerlain. So I just realized I didn't say it was a Hugo Boss at the beginning of the video. I said it was a Superman fragrance, but it is. It is Hugo X Superman by Hugo Boss. So this is coming in their canteen style bottle with the Superman S emblazoned across the front. Now, in my mind, I have always thought of the canteen bottles as like the cheaper Hugo Boss fragrances because that's really kind of what they are. Boss Bottled gets a lot of the nicer stuff, Bottled Absolute, Bottled Elixir, although a lot of those are kind of forgettable as well, but the canteen ones typically a little bit cheaper, and especially so when they hit discounters. A lot of times they're marked off quite heavily. That doesn't mean they're bad. Not all of them anyway. There are some that are pretty solid. So let's read about the Superman bottle. Discover Superman X Hugo Collector's Edition Eau de Parfum, the new fragrance from Hugo Boss Fragrances. You don't say. You mean to tell me that Superman X Hugo Collector's Edition Eau de Parfum is a new fragrance from Hugo Boss Fragrances? I'm just playing, but I'm not. I'm also serious. Created for a bold generation. You talking about the generation that watched the Skibbity toilet? Is that which generation you talking about? Shout out to all you Skibbity toilet heads out there. I don't know. The new refreshing, powerful fragrance instills sophistication and confidence. A thrilling concoction of frozen aldehyde accord, citruses, and juicy berry offer crisp freshness through the top. Cooling mint through the heart is complemented by the earthy richness of patchouli at the base. An exceptional perfume that exudes intensity to highlight Superman's strength and resilience. Honestly, it sounds pretty good. I mean, as good as one of these can sound like. Frozen aldehydes, I mean, I'm intrigued. Like, how does that come across? It's got mint in there as well, so I'm assuming really brisk off the top. Citruses and juicy berry, and then in the base, some patchouli. Yeah, I mean, all things considered, like, it could be pretty good, especially once it hits discounters for like 30, 40 bucks, like, I don't know. Could be like a kind of a sleeper. One thing I will say, it's a Superman fragrance. It better be pretty strong. I mean, they do say in there, it exudes intensity to highlight Superman's strength and resilience. So yeah, it better be pretty strong, better project heavily, last a good amount of time, because that could be a big slipping point. I mean, just in terms of like marketing. If you come out with a fragrance that's supposed to be a Superman fragrance, spray it on and 30 minutes later it's gone, it's like, well, I don't know. You guys missed it. So with this presentation, I know some people who are fans of Superman are gonna be like, oh, it's fantastic, I gotta get it. Other people are gonna see it and be like, oh, it's childish, whatever. If I'm honest, if it smells good, I don't care what the bottle looks like. And I'm gonna keep my eyes open for this one, hopefully be able to scoop it for a decent price. So let's talk next about that Explorer. And there is very, very little about this at this point. So iFragrance Official on their Instagram, which also you should follow them on Instagram, because a lot of times they'll post up on Instagram, like on their stories when something new has dropped. It's a pretty easy way to keep up with new stuff that's dropping because they'll let everybody know on Instagram first typically. So yeah, if you're on Instagram, you should follow them for sure. But they had put up a story, which as of right now, there's not additional info on this one, but it was a photo of the new Explorer, the new Montblanc Explorer. So at this point, just a picture of the new Explorer bottle, but it's done up in a very similar style to the original Explorer in terms of the color scheme, but with an overall slightly darker tone to the fragrance in terms of, again, the bottle, the presentation, and a different style on the wrap on the outside of the bottle. So as of right now, no more additional information for this one, but it does look like they're maybe going back towards something that they had done when they first launched Explorer instead of the couple of flankers that came out after the fact, after the original, that didn't hit quite as hard. So same thing with the Parfums de Marly here. When I get more information, note breakdown, write up all that stuff, I'll update you guys. But for now, know that there is an Explorer coming, which is good news. At least if you're a fan of Explorer, it is. All right, let's talk about the new light blue Dolce & Gabbana light blue Capri in Love. And I am really excited about this because I have talked about Dolce & Gabbana and how they kind of walked away from some of their lines. They skipped this one last year. There was no light blue at all last year. And now I'm hoping that they come out with the one fragrance maybe a little bit later this year. That might be too much to ask, but I'm hoping because that has been pretty much abandoned. So as you can see, presentation-wise, it's actually pretty similar to what they did a year before last with Summer Vibes. But it looks good, so I can't hate on it. You know, the bottle looks nice and the cap looks more similar to the style on like Light Blue Forever, Light Blue Italian Love. And what that probably means, though I don't think it's fully set in stone, at least hasn't been announced anyway, is that the size is going to be the size that those bottles typically have, which is 50 and 100 ml. Because Summer Vibes had the different cap style, like the original light blue cap style, and those will go up to 125 mils instead of 100 mils on the larger size. So I'm guessing that Capri in Love will be back to the 50 and 100, just based off that cap. I'm a moron. In the picture here, it has the box and the bottle, it says 100 mils, so there we go. Great detective word. Yeah, so 50 and 100 mils. Size will be a little smaller than Summer Vibes. I'm deducing. Oh, it's right there. Okay, here's the write-up. Surrender yourself to the new seductive journey of freedom and passion with light blue Capri in Love. Pour Homme, a new intense take on the original light blue Pour Homme, which transfers the wearer to an unforgettable, exotic summer destination. Adorned with the sophisticated blue Majolica. The bottle is a reflection of the vibrancy of the Mediterranean, while the blend embodies the modern man's strength and sophistication. Majolica. 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 That sounds a little bit better. Not the hard J, right? It's probably not a hard J. A radiant blend of zesty lemon spiced by black pepper, which invigorates the senses. A fusion of soft figs and sea accord transports the wearer to the exotic blue shores of Capri. The base boasts a strong trail of woods and patchouli for a lasting impression that reminds you of romantic nights spent on the exotic Mediterranean island. The name here is kind of funny, Capri in Love. I mean, it sounds fine, but they do have light blue Love is Love, and then they have Beauty of Capri. So you just kind of take those two and note breakdown wise, black pepper, fig, and lemon, sea accord, aromatic spices, and patchouli and woody notes. To me, and I'm sure the majority of you, the thing that jumps out, the fig. Fig is one of those notes that if you love it, you love it. And when it's used well, it can absolutely make the fragrance a showstopper and make it stand out against most other things out there. Now, Summer Vibes, the one that came out year before last, I thought it was good. It did remind me a lot of the original Light Blue and also Light Blue O Intense to an extent. And so a lot of people were kind of put off by that a little bit. They were like, nah, it's not the most exciting thing in the world. And I'm wondering if they took a year off to like recalibrate and they're like, okay, we're bringing our A game this year. And that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping that when you spray this on, yes, it's extremely easy to wear, a compliment puller, great for summer, all that stuff you would already expect, but that it just immediately captures your attention and does something a little bit different while still being fresh and easy to wear, because that's ultimately what Light Blue is about. And even though that bottle and box is pretty similar to what they did year before last, I don't mind a whole lot because they look good. And I, for one, am ecstatic that they are not letting Light Blue die, that they're bringing it back. And I am gonna reiterate once again, bring back the one. I don't know why I was whispering this direction and the microphone's right here. But yeah, the one, bring that back. And you know what, man, just bring back Pour Homme as well. Dolce & Gabbana Pour Homme, bring that back too, brother. Bring it all back. Actually, while you're at it, you know, some of those discontinued fragrances, bring those back too. Imagine that Dolce & Gabbana just got like 6, 7, 8 different men's lines going at once. Total insanity. But yeah, Light Blue Capri in Love coming our way. Let's talk next about that new Guerlain. It's called Habit Rouge Spirit, or if you just want to go full on English, Habit Rouge Spirit. This one is a limited edition. The write-up says, the iconic creation by Guerlain and the first amber fragrance for men in history is celebrating 60 years of seduction. Hey man, 60 years old and still getting it. A unique fusion between the timeless Abbey Rouge fragrance and 2 oak barrels, each of which has a distinctive scent profile directly linked to how long it has been aging. By time, the fusion between the wood and the raw materials unveils new olfactory nuances. They go on to say that this is a masterfully crafted spicy leather fragrance that has powdery iris nuances, cozy nutmeg, and the amber base built around 2 lavish vanilla essences, tincture and absolute. I guess I could probably look up some more information on this fragrance, but it does leave like a little bit still open, at least question-wise, because it says it is 2 oak barrels, each of which has a distinctive scent profile, blah, 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 blah. So I know that with this one, they're aging the fragrance in oak barrels, kind of like you would do with whiskey, hence the name Spirit. So I guess they have 2 oak barrels, multiple oak barrels set up, I'm assuming. They're aging one in one barrel for a while and then putting it into another barrel. I'm gonna have to like watch a video from Guerlain or something. Like, how is this working, guys? What are you doing here, guys? What's with the barrels? Oh, okay, all right. You put them, okay. But it sounds sick. And by sick, I mean bad. And by bad, I mean good. It sounds good. I'm about this iris oak aging that imparts that smell into the fragrance itself, making it richer, deeper, woodier, probably has a bit of a smoky essence to it. Vanilla getting ramped up in there. Oof, yes, I desire this strongly. And I'll tell you what else. Last year, when they kind of got into this like boozy kick with Guerlain fragrances, they came out with Vetiver and then L'Homme and then Abbey Rouge, like each one had like a different kind of twist, like a boozy twist. Nothing has been announced for the other lines at this point, and it wouldn't surprise me if nothing does come out for those lines in regard to this, because this is being pitched as its own thing in celebration of the 60th anniversary limited edition. That limited edition part really sucks. Basically, it means if you want that, you need to get it. Otherwise, it's gonna go away and the price will go woo. But I would like to see a little more jamming like that on those other ones. L'Homme d'Or, give it to me. But honestly, everything L'Homme d'Or like comes out and then it's like, oh, it's gone. Platine Privé, oh, this is great. Oh, it's gone. That was quick. But there is the new Guerlain fragrance, and that will wrap up today's update. So some cool stuff. Let me know which of these fragrances you're most hyped about, whether it's one of the ones that there's not much info out about yet, the new Guerlain, the new Dolce & Gabbana, the new Superman X Hugo. Thank you guys so much for hanging with me here today. I'm glad that we're still getting some new fragrances announced. We haven't hit the doldrums yet, that part of the year where there's absolutely nothing. So very happy about that. Thank you guys so much. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.